everyone's voices. All right, start from the top, alphabetical order. Agilities.
Hello.
That's Agilities. Brady, aka. All right, who's next? I don't have Discord open. I don't know.
Ethan. Hi.
Ethan. That's Ethan. And then we have Nami and Verbo, as you guys can see in the Google Hangout. On the screen right now is Verbo and Nami. If Nami's right there, it'll pop up if he talks at the different time than Verbo. All right. And then that's everybody, right? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And Grim. That's Grim.
You hit the dot on everybody, David.
All right, so everyone's doing great. So first things first is the game browser, which is aka custom games, which you're just showing on screen. Is it Agilities that's been tinkering with his own thing? What are the settings like, Agilities?
Heck yeah. It's just the 500%. If I rotate everything, besides like the cooldowns, and it's just fun.
Nice. Pretty sweet. Although we haven't had much time to do that because we've been focusing on competitive and scrims and whatnot. Capture the Flag. Has anybody played Capture the Flag?
Yeah. No. Wait, is there like a new version? I played Capture the Flag.
There's new maps.
The new maps look sick, but like the Capture the Flag itself is like pretty booty.
Did they add the elevators too?
I think they've been in there for a little bit, but I don't think that makes it any better. I think the game is just it's not for me. You know what I mean? But I'll give it that it's fun. Like if you're doing something on your off time, if you're chilling, you don't want to try super hard.
All right, we'll move on to the actual changes that affect us. So first things first are the sensitivity options for Ana, Nano Boost, Zarya, and there's one more, Mercy. What do you think? Has it been affecting your play, Ethan? What do you think?
It's all right. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, I just keep it at 50, and I think that's the perfect sweet spot.
You haven't been missing your nanos. I mean, I haven't noticed that you missed the very important nanos.
I miss boostios, to be honest.
It's still sometimes if they're not on your screen, like they're in you and behind you, you'll still boost them. It happened to me once already.
I haven't seen you boostio other than the time that you actually intentionally boostioed.
I've done it once.
For stalling purposes?
No, I've already done it. More than no, it's happened on accident once.
The intentional boostio.
But it was intentional though.
Those are the best boostios.
Alright, moving on to Bastion. Grim's been playing most of our Bastion for us, so you want to get started on that? There's the reconfiguration time, quicker bullet spread, change with the no headshots, bigger spread, magazine size to 300, no crits. What have you been thinking?
Ooh, Bastion's definitely a spicy pick. I think he's really good. Like, he doesn't die very easily, but he can be easily played around versus, like, shit.
I don't know, in my comp games, people are really struggling to play around it. Like, it takes, like, even at Grandmaster level, like, you gotta have, like, a 3-man coordination to take down a Bastion, it feels like.
Alright, well, I was more talking about it from, like, an actual, like, competitive perspective. But
GM
in comp games...
But yeah.
You're right. But hey, honestly, if you want to climb the ladder boards, the rankings, just play Bastion. Play Bastion, force one of your teammates to go Reinhardt, and then just win.
That's the problem, Graham.
It's a simple 1-2 step operation, and you'll just gain elo. But yeah, honestly, I think the 35% damage reduction in Sentry, little busted. It's a little bit busted. I would tweak that down a little bit. But yeah, he's feeling pretty strong.
It seems a little, yeah, so Bastion takes 35% less damage when in tank or sentry, and it's kind of weird, like when you play him and you're getting hit, you want to like unsiege and run away, but sometimes it's better just to sit there and heal and take the damage because he's so tanky, it's insane. And
yeah.
Self-repair, pretty cool, you can use it while you're moving, it's like a resource, like a D.Va shield. Tank no longer grants armor, but does a 35%. And yeah, and then the recon form actually has less spread, and he has a little bit bigger magazine. Are you killing people with that, Grim?
Yeah, actually, like a lot of the times versus dive, like there's not much I do in Sentry, so like I'll just like randomly roam around and like look for Pharaohs, try to pick them. Sweet. Reposition myself, you know what I mean? I try to mix it up, but with like the self heal, I still keep trying to like jump into position and then press E and stand still.
Yeah,
not
like Roadhog or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's we're getting used to it though.
Alright, but so yeah, our main stance is that it's overpowered in comp right now because like people don't really know how to play around it or counter it, and in actual like high level play, scrims and tournaments, like it might be overpowered. People are still working on it. What do you think, Verbo, Nami, Agilities, or Athan? Do you think we're going to see more of it going forward? Is it going to be just like a niche pick for like cheesy strats?
I think it's gonna be more of a cheesy strat because I think Dive's still really good against it. He's really good against big targets like tanks, Roadhog, Reinhardt shield, but he's really weak against like small hitboxes like Genji, Tracer when he's on sentry mode. So like triple DPS Dive, which is a very popular comp right now, might be a little bit too strong for it in my opinion.
Alright, yeah, so like,
for me,
go ahead.
So for the Bastion, I think Bastion comps can go well. I mean, it's definitely going to be good for those teams that want to play a lot more passive and, you know, more strategic and play a little bit more slow and shield break. And then, you know, dive is still very viable. So teams that want to go aggressive, split up, attack from different angles, they'll definitely excel in that aspect.
Yeah, so the main goal was a quad tank was super strong, and they wanted something that you could kind of go to if the opponent is running quad tank. So DPS isn't good against tanks, so they have like a super DPS basically that breaks shields, and he's not good against dive or not like smaller targets. So that's pretty much where they wanted him. But he still seems super overpowered in comp. So I expect some changes, especially to this. I think it's the Ironclad thing. The 35% is just like he's just a little too tanky.
Yeah, Reinhardt mains and Roadhog mains are gonna struggle with him against him a little bit. So let's see what happens.
Alright, next is the D.Va change I'll talk about. It's actually super cool. So before, the way I would explain it to people is if you held your shield up against like a bullet, the bullet would have to have like some airtime. Whereas if the bullet like just didn't have any airtime, for example, if a Roadhog hooked someone with the old hook and just shot, you couldn't block that with a D.Va shield. You'd have to like boop them away. But it just didn't work, and it didn't make sense. You're holding your shield over your friend, he just dies. And the same thing with Zarya shooting her ult into the ground, crouching and shooting her ult into the ground. The grav had no airtime, so the D.Va couldn't catch it. But now they're changing that, so as long as your shield is over the area where the projectile should be, then you can now catch it. And this is pretty cool because now like you can reliably like if the enemy Zarya has grav, you can like be like, I'm gonna swap to D.Va and try to eat that, and the Zarya can't just like look at the ground and shoot. So now the Zarya now as a Zarya player, you have to actually like kill the D.Va suit or make sure she doesn't have a shield up. The only problem right now is there's a little bug with the defense matrix in this change, and apparently people can shoot through their teammates and it confuses the defense matrix and it just doesn't work. So I'm really excited for this change, but you can't quite play D.Va reliably yet. Does anyone else want to weigh in on the defense matrix?
Yeah, I think it gives you, if you have good awareness, you can get a lot more value from your defense matrix right now. Like if you have a good sound and you know where the enemy is positioned, then you can just like do crazy defense matrix flicks and save your team. So it's gonna make you a more it makes you have more utility, and I think it's really good right now.
Sweet.
I think it's pretty good as well because like on paper, D.Va defense matrix should be good against Roadhog because like you right click ally, but before it wasn't like that. Now that it is, it's pretty good. Although bringing it back just a little bit, me being a pretty unbiased McCree Soldier player, I would say I feel like she needs a little bit more help.
She needs more help? What do you mean?
Health or
health.
armor or something. Because like the thing is with D.Va is if I am one person like just like singled out from my team and then she has the ability to shift onto me, that should be pretty scary for me. But like right now it's just not scary. Like I can drop my heal down and just like pivot around her, you know, pop her out of mech or scare her off. I feel like if that hit scan is in a position to where he can get singled out and shifted onto, be punishing.
cutting out just a tad, Grim, if you could get closer to the mic, but I think we got most of that. I got what you're saying. As a D.Va player, I like to be able to just fly around and kill people that are alone. But it feels weird that if you see a soldier up on the high ground alone, I'm D.Va, I can fly, I can go get on him. It feels like if you have the D.Va right in front of the soldier, somehow the soldier wins that 1v1. It doesn't make sense. But with the healing station, but it's pretty weird. But I kind of get maybe they don't want it to feel exactly like Monkey. Like Monkey can jump on a soldier, drop the shield, and win. Maybe they want to have it be a little bit different. We'll see. But yeah, I would like to be able to kill a soldier solo as D.Va.
Honestly, I think Soldier heal is a little bit too strong against against those matchups in particular. When you're Monkey, 1v1, Monkey v Soldier, when he has the heal up, it's too strong. It's like a waste of time.
Yeah, same with Tracer too.
Yeah, so when you see the soldier dropping the heal, just run away. That's what I do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just make him waste that big cooldown, and then as Monkey, your jump is there's a couple of mind games there. You jump faster than he gets his heal, so you can just bait the heals, and then go back. And if you didn't waste your bubble, the first jump, then you can definitely win that matchup, no problem at all.
Alright, gotcha. Next change, Mei cryofreeze. Mei can now be targeted by allies while in cryofreeze. Not a big deal. I think the biggest thing that affect is a lot of times a Mei will be grenaded in her ice block, and now you can, if you're a Zarya, if you really want to, you can shield the Mei while she's in her thing so she could be healed. And yeah, she could be healed. But not that the change is not really going to affect us because in high level play, because Mei is mostly used just for stalling, and then stalling got nerfed as we'll discuss later. Alright, Mercy Resurrect. Mercy now becomes temporarily invincible with the allies being revived. It's a pretty decent change. Verba, did you want to talk about that, or Ethan?
Yeah, I can go first. So basically, I really like the new change with Mercy because when you wanted to really set up for a big res, the team's kind of looking for the Mercy, where's the Mercy, and everybody's looking for the Mercy to come in. But I mean, before you would go in and res, and then you would die, and you would have to sacrifice yourself to res your whole team, and then it would be an immediate, whatever, maybe 5v6. But now you have a chance to get out as soon as you res, and it's pretty good. I think it adds a new dynamic to Mercy.
Yeah, I think you're definitely going to see her a bit more than she was shown before. And agree with everything Verbo said.
And then have you guys been noticing the Guardian Angel or Beam sensitivity? You been messing around with that at all, or nah?
No, I left it on default on everything. I think she's fine with everything.
Yeah, I think you definitely want it on default, especially when you're when you want to go up and get your Pharah or tag your Pharah with the Guardian Angel. You don't really want your crosshair really right on her. You want it in a general area so you can go straight up.
That's
and it's not too much.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really see Mercy's beaming or Guardian Angel the wrong people. Alright, Roadhog, Scrap Gun. Agility is 0 up. So Scrap Gun, spread decreased by 20%. That's on the left click and the right click. And the hook is now from 6 to 8 seconds. And then the hooks are pulled farther away. But with the Scrap Gun change, they're supposed to deal the same amount of damage. But is a nerf to the Roadhog hook cooldown. What have you been thinking about it, Roadhog? What do you even think about Roadhog, aka agilities?
Alright, well, I think Roadhog's super good. I haven't played him enough to know if he was as good as he was before the patch, because I haven't had success, or I haven't found a way to one-shot Zarya's like I did last patch. So I mean, the most I've done is 300 damage to a Zarya. I feel like he does less damage to tanks when you hook them in, but I think he's still as good against squishies. And if you learn how to use his gun better, he's just amazing right now. The spread on it, he's you definitely it takes time to get used to the new gun, especially if you played a lot of Roadhog before it got buffed. But I mean, I've noticed the hook cooldown a little bit. Genji's pretty good at deflecting it now. You can't just wait. You don't have that 2-second span to get him after he reflected.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a little more trouble killing Genjis. I think it's overall a good Roadhog patch though. I think he's still really strong, especially if you figure out how to use a gun good.
Did you want to weigh in on that, Grim?
Yeah, I played Roadhog today, and dealing with tracers is actually manageable if you don't have hookup. You can just left click them, and they're actually scared of that instead of taking some pebbles and underhand tossing that. That's what it felt like last patch. So, but yeah, it's definitely like something to get used to, like the gun, like Agility said, and then I didn't really notice the cooldown too much. Yeah, like the cooldown didn't really feel like too much of an. Yeah.
All right,
Still pretty good, and yeah.
Sounds pretty good. Sombra, hack sensitivity, pretty cool. I don't think we haven't been playing Sombra that much though.
Yeah.
And Sombra actually is kind of like on her way out, so maybe she could use some other changes. Symmetra, okay, that's on the console only. Apparently, she does more damage or less.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm reading the full patch notes. Yeah, there's some Torb changes too. Widowmaker, grappling hook sensitivity. There's like a few weird spots in the game where just a few. So it's good that they added that. And like Widowmakers are pretty good at aiming, so they're probably just gonna make that as sensitive as possible. Winston, critical hit volume reduced by 15%, so he doesn't get. I think the main goal is like so he doesn't get shredded by Roadhog in one hit, and Tracer doesn't destroy him anymore. But I think there's a small bug with it, with the arm hitbox or something like that. Have you noticed? Do you take less damage, Nami?
Yeah, it's you notice it right away, and with Tracers especially. It's like, as before, she's like a very hard counter to Winston when you don't have the bubble. She can just like melt you from and kite you around. It's a really hard matchup. So you can live longer. I think it's a very good buff to him, but I have seen the hitbox thingy, and I think it needs to be talked about because it's not. It doesn't look good right now.
So yeah, even with the arm bug, you're still noticing a lot less damage. Yeah,
yeah, correct.
Yeah, Tracer used to like do like 300 damage in one clip, like pretty easily. So that should change.
I just imagine you crouching while dueling Tracers and shit, like crouch walking towards him.
Yeah, it looks like it only happens when he's crouched,
okay.
Because he's like one of those characters that when he's crouch and walking, he looks like weird. He looks like a spider. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, but yeah, it's just when you're crouched, your hitbox looks. I think it changes a little bit too much. I don't know.
So yeah, this is so people thought this was going to be a good patch for Winston, but I do have a little story. So in the 4-tank meta, Winston was like really bad. And there's this guy, and anyone on West Coast comp knows, his name's Only One. He has like 5 stars. He only plays Winston. He's at the Grandmaster level. He's really good, but like he just couldn't play Winston because it was quad tank meta and just get destroyed by Roadhog. And then so I saw him on doing his placements, and he's back on Winston. He's excited. He's excited about this change, maybe less Roadhog. He wants to play. I get him in my first game. I'm playing Bastion, of course. He just gets shredded every team fight. We cap Root with like 3 minutes left, and he just leaves the game. So I think he's done until the Bastion patch is gone. But so I don't know if that's like what's like a sign of what's going to happen for Winston's this patch, but we'll see. So Winston better against Tracer and Hog, but with Bastion around, you kind of don't want to be Winston. Is what it seems like right now.
I just feel bad for Only One, honestly. Like,
it's a sad story. And okay, no, I'm not even lying. His team did better 5v6 when he was gone. Like he was just feeding ult because that's Winston right now. I'm sorry, that's sad.
That's honestly a tearjerker.
Yeah, that was a little sad.
Yeah.
And then okay, Zarya, projected barrier sensitivity. This is mostly on me, and yeah, before the patch, a lot of shields like went on Lucio's that would just kind of like barely touch the edge of my screen, and so I'm gonna be messing with this a lot. Right now I'm playing with 60, but I think I'm probably just gonna go lower. I'm probably gonna go as low as possible. Sometimes you just want to be able to kind of whip it on someone without like turning your camera all the way around, but every time it's on a Lucio, it really sucks. All right, and then Zenyatta. Or sensitivity. I think there was never really a problem with these. I think those. So
yeah. They're perfectly fine on default. I'm pretty sure you don't want to change them.
Yeah, the problem I think it's just with characters that are usually in the front line, because with Zenyatta you're usually in the back, so it's really easy for you to like target the specific who you want the orb on.
Mm-hmm.
So with Zarya is really good. With Zenyatta I don't think you're gonna need it that much.
Yeah, and if you accidentally hit a Lucio, you just reapply it to someone else. It takes half a second, so no cooldown there.
Yeah.
Alright, so map balance changes. There's the respawn delay. Let me read it out exactly. When attackers outnumber defenders while taking a control point on assault, escort, and assault escort and assault escort maps, the defender's respawn time will slowly increase until it hits its maximum value, where the defense manages to gain the upper hand. So we're not like exactly sure, like so if you keep 2 on it, like the timer goes up. Do you guys know, like, does it go up to like 15 seconds, even more? I guess like the normal respawn's 10 or 12, right?
Yeah.
And just
I think it's. I did notice a difference on today's scrims. If you get a good team wipe, let's say that you kill like 4 of them, and then you kill the other 2 after, it's kind of more difficult for them to just like keep throwing the bodies into the point.
yeah.
I mean, it was definitely apparent in our Carbon Masters game on Anubis, right? Like, we were all even making everybody remember, like, you know, we have respawns here, don't worry about them flooding in, like point B, when we were on attack, so I think it's a good change.
Yeah, definitely needed.
Yeah, a lot of people complaining about TCP. I kind of like. Okay. Well, I don't want to talk about that, but yeah. So there's so
I think 2CP, the idea of 2CP is fine. I like it, but there has to be some sort of like map changes. Like map design is just it's kind of difficult on some maps to cap like Hanamura.
Yeah. So this is the first step, basically, and it is still possible to like get wiped and then make a recovery, as we did in our. If you guys were watching our Carbon Masters game today, like we did have them kind of kill all but one of us, and then we did make a slow recovery and held the point, and then lost it again. But it wasn't like that. Our game last week, where we totally should have lost, and we had one person on the point, and then we just had like a 4-minute stall, and then we recovered, which is just a little ridiculous. So that will go away, but it is still possible to make some nice recoveries. So that's pretty cool. Agilities, Ethan or Grim, you want to weigh in on that? All right, moving on. Eichenwalde. That's a negative. All right, so there's the Eichenwalde door thing. It's pretty cool, actually. Like, I don't even know what the lore was between you knock the door down and then it just instantly like appears out of nowhere. I don't know what was going on before, but now the door comes down and there's like a little rubble. So it's like not a clear opening. And wait, can Reinhardt get through it, Nami, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone can get
through 2 spots.
Yeah, it's actually really good. I like it.
I like it as well. It negates that part to the defense, and it just blocks the chokes. It's really good in my opinion. Really needed for attackers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna change up how the defense holds as well, which is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna like fucking, stick your bodies in front of the door.
Yeah, I think Mei got a lot worse on defense. Like, she used to be really good, but now that there's like a big way and then 2 other separate ways you can come through him, like she is not as useful.
Yeah,
you can still get a very juicy ult there. It covers a lot of ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, like her wall is not gonna be as useful. And before you could just like win fights with just the wall, which was in my opinion overpowered.
Yeah. So
I would.
Oh, go ahead.
I would really like to see a like immediate defensive high ground on the 3rd point Eichenwalde. So like you have the that like catwalk, but that's like mainly for attackers. Yeah. I'd love to see something like connect up to that catwalk and then like branch more towards the objective, if that makes sense, like further down the lane. Just to have like some sort of high ground, because like right now I feel like Soldier is not as effective as he could be 3rd point, just because there's no like good place to like hold, and you have to spam shield, but that's not very good because it's like a really tight corner. So that's my only grudge with 3rd point as of right now.
Okay. I'm a little sad, with Mei not being good there, and like Mei's not even good on 1st points anymore because everyone's running dive. I think Mei's gonna go down to like 0% play rate. Also, with the respawn delay changes, that was like only time people played Mei to stall or like 3rd point Eichenwalde. So she's probably going to be needing some changes, maybe, if she wants to see me play. A little sad about that. Alright, some bug changes. I don't think any of these were really a big deal. I saw someone on Reddit talking about when Genji dashes, you can turn quicker. Is that true, Agilities, or is that just...
Yeah, his dash got a buff.
Yeah, there is still like a little bit of delay, though, there, right?
Yeah, there is. So here, let me find the Red Dead again. Let me read this out. So it says Genji's dash receives a buff allowing you to perform other actions much sooner after dashing, such as moving, looking around, wall climbing, and you are no longer locked to the animation for shorter dashes. So like before the patch, after you dash, you'd be like locked in the same spot for I'm not sure how long exactly, but they changed that. So you can just look around. So basically, if you dash through someone, you'd be able to 180 quicker and get like more damage. You know, like a right-click melee. So I think it's a pretty big buff. You could also wall climb faster after doing the dash animation. And what else is here? Yeah, I think that's it. And move apparently. That's what it says.
Sweet.
So move faster after that.
So you'll basically be able to be more agile. It's
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Get out of this.
All right. We're close. We're done. We're done here. All right. Is there anything else someone else wanted to add on the patch and where we're going in the future with metas or Bastion stuff? Or is there?
I think
okay.
a lot of characters are really viable right now. There's some that they, like May, that they need a little bit of work on, but
Junkrat.
Junkrat as well. I just
make
think
a projectile.
that teams should try to play what they feel comfortable on and don't like to, deviate that much, because a lot of compositions are really strong right now. So it's just better to refine what you feel comfortable on, in my opinion. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, Verba, closing thoughts.
Yeah, it's basically right now, since it's a new patch, everything's kind of viable right now. Everything's still up in the air of what's going to be really, what's going to be played and really strong. But I mean, tune in to see what is played in pro play, and then go from there.
Sweet. Hey, Grim, anything you wanted to add on there, or Ethan?
XP and custom games were amazing.
Yes, definitely.
Forgot
baby.
to talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk
Actually,
about
it's
that.
actually a big deal for us. It's we were actually pretty excited about
discussion.
that. Yeah.
I've lost
It's
so
just
many
like
levels.
2 days. I was up like 8 levels, dude.
I know, for real, it's insane.
Insane.
I'm
You're never gonna have to buy loot boxes again.
I'm level 26.
Oh,
don't know
don't
about
say
that
that.
one.
Don't
Oh,
say
yeah.
that because don't say
Probably
that,
still gonna
man.
buy
It's
a
gonna get
lot of
nerfed
loot
again.
boxes.
We're gonna get nerfed.
All right. On that note, though, I will end our discussion. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'm gonna stop the stream now, so they can clip that. All right, later.